What is going on, beautiful people of the world? My name is Garrett Wolf, and I am the host of the number one podcast for people who are trying to go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs. I've built my body over the last 8 years, and in the last 3 years, I've helped hundreds of online clients shred unwanted fat and embody the best version of themselves. Now, let's jump right into today's show. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Alpha Movement Podcast. This is the number one show for people who are trying to go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs, all without giving up the most enjoyable aspects of their life. In today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about playing small. Playing motherfucking small, because I think I've been playing small in my life, despite all the things I've been doing, despite all the, you know, forward action steps that I've been taking. Despite all the action steps that I've been taking, I am not perfect, and I want to let you guys know a few things about, my contest prep, a couple things about some stuff that's been going on in my life, making me a little bit stressed, and honestly making me play a little bit smaller than I would like to. And so, before I get into all that, you guys already know the deal. If at any point during this episode you enjoy what I have to say, or you take some value from this podcast, please screenshot my face, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at _Garrett Wolf, and I will reshare it to my story, and I will also send you a free gift. Other than that, guys, this is the 60th episode of the Alpha Movement Podcast, and I am excited as hell to be bringing you guys a podcast every single day, because this has always been one of my dreams, being able to just talk, being able to talk without a script, number one, but also being able to just talk for a long period of time. If you guys didn't know, if you haven't followed the journey, I had a lot of, social anxiety and a lot of things that I have a hard time talking about, frankly, but just a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of scarcity mindset, a little bit of spotlight syndrome, but also a little bit of imposter syndrome, all these labels. And one thing I hate is fucking labels. So I don't mean to label myself with all those things, but as you could see by my wording, I said these are the things I used to struggle with, or these are the things I experienced. These are not the things that I have. These are not the things that I have for life. These are not a prescription disorder that I'm going to claim to have for the rest of my life, because I don't want to do that with anything when it comes to my life. I think people are just different. There's obviously a spectrum curve of different personalities and different people. And so I'm not going to label myself with something for the rest of my life. And I think any problem can be overcome with mass exposure, kind of throwing someone into the deep end. And so one of the main ideas of this podcast was to throw myself into the deep end, hop on camera with literally no script, and just speak on a topic, speak my expertise, and really pick my own brain to see what it is that I know. And honestly, over the last 60 episodes, man, it's like, I know a lot more than I give myself credit for, frankly. Is like I can talk about pretty much anything. I can solve almost any fitness related problem, other than some of the more crazy complicated ones, like some, diabetes stuff, some menstrual cycle problems for women. Women are definitely not my specialty. Hormones when it comes to women and men, I'm not exactly the best. I can help you out with some testosterone. I can give you some supplements. Um, Obviously, those are more doctor related things, but I am very, very confident in my ability to help somebody achieve results. I can give you a blueprint, a literal step-by-step plan that you can follow and achieve results. And honestly, I feel like I could do that for almost anyone, despite, the people that I just mentioned. Other than them, some of the problems that they struggle with are a little bit out of my comfort zone. But, these are some of the things that I can learn. I'm turning 22 in about 2 days. I'm only going to be 22 years old. The night is young. I'm very, very young. I have a lot of time to learn, and I just can't imagine, like, I've only probably lived around a fourth or a fifth of my life. And it's like, by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, I can't imagine the type of shit that I'm going to be able to know. And I'm just so excited to learn, because I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent right now, but I hated learning in school. I just thought learning was stupid. I just wanted to live. I just wanted to do whatever I want to do. But as I'm getting older and older, learning is like one of the greatest things that we are gifted as human beings. Because an animal, they can't really learn too many things, right? They can learn a couple things within their instincts. They can learn a few things that may help them with things like getting food, may help them survive. But when it comes to learning, you know, a broad spectrum of different information, humans are really the only people that can hold the capacity of information that we can hold. And that's what gives us the competitive edge. That's why we're the kind of the dominant species on the planet. And it's like, it's just such a beautiful thing, honestly. I'm just going through this moment here on Monday morning of just mass gratitude of being able to be spawned as a human and just be able to learn and just not be like an animal, an instinctual like animal. I'm sure, maybe there's benefits to that too. I'm a very optimistic guy, but just being a human is just incredibly amazing. It's the chances of us being here are incredibly low, and I'm just incredibly excited to be able to learn and be able to craft and cultivate the person that I want to become. And it's just like I'm learning more and more things, and I'm just super duper grateful for that. But the topic I wanted to get into on today's podcast, and I want to thank you guys too for tuning in. Everyone that tunes in, the views are slowly going up and up. Obviously, I don't expect anything crazy. I'm a complete nobody, a random guy who's creating a podcast. I don't have guests on, it's just me. So anybody that tunes in consistently, I see the numbers going up on Spotify, on YouTube. It's really really exciting. It's really motivating. And the YouTube's blowing up. I mean, the views on the pod are going pretty good. They're going up and up. But then the views on the YouTube Shorts too. We're gonna probably hit 1,000 subs within a few weeks, and I can't fucking believe it, dude. I might be able to hit. I might actually be able to hit 10,000, 100,000 subs, and it was all just a pipe dream a long time ago. It's like I've been in this game for 3 years now, and I've been doing everything I can. But over the last 6, 7 months, I've really been going all in. Like I've been sacrificing everything, and that has to do with a little bit of what I'm talking about today with playing small over the past week because you know, I used to, frankly, honestly, just to be open, I used to party all the fucking time, right? In high school when I was 16, 17, 18, even 19, and into my 20s, like when I was in college with my two roommates, we used to party like all the time, right? We would always be chilling, always be just doing whatever. And I just wasn't really focusing on my business. And that didn't really make me happy. So I decided to, drop out of college and full fledged about 20 years old when COVID hit. I dropped out of college. I withdrew after just a year of attendance, and I decided to just go all in on the online fitness coaching business. And again, that was like, I started it up in 2019, but then I was still in college over that year of 19 to 2020. And then the end of 2020, when COVID hit and we went into online school, I just decided, I'm not going back to this shit. I'm just going to go all in and do my own thing and try to learn and become better and do everything I can. And I was still playing small for about, a year until now when I'm 21, about 7, 8 months ago. I started going all in on my goals, like literally, again, posting 1 to 2 times on Instagram. Now it's up to six, posting like 6 to 12 times on TikTok every single day, 6 to 10 times on YouTube Shorts because YouTube Shorts are hella random, and doing a podcast. As you can see, this is the newest incorporation over the last 60 days. We've been doing it for 2 months straight, and we haven't missed a single day. And so, the point of me stating all these achievements is to say that I'm addicted and dedicated to lifelong improvement, 1% progress every single day. And if you guys have been following along with the pods, you know that I had a little, kind of like a little birthday celebration, if you will, because my birthday's in 2 days, but I wanted to see my friends a little bit sooner because I am 4 weeks out from a competition. So I was like, guys, we should do a little bit of partying this weekend rather than next weekend, because the closer and closer I get to my show, the more and more like repercussions there's going to be, right? I'm trying to get shredded. I'm like not going to have enough time to get absolutely banana peeled to step on stage. So I'm like, let's do it this weekend. And that being said, like in the momentum that I'm in right now, I'm like barely ever doing that shit now, right? Like barely ever am I partying, like barely ever am I drinking or smoking any weed nowadays. And I like it that way. I like it that way because I can think about fitness, I can think about my business, I can think about my clients, I can think about everything that actually progresses my life and learning and just being the best version of me that I can be. And I've been playing small over the past week because I gave into those temptations. Like I'm just going to confess and like be 100% open and honest and vulnerable with my audience, because that's all I can really do. Is like I don't want to hide behind a screen. I don't want to hide behind a facade. Is over that weekend, like on Saturday, I think it was Saturday. It might have been Friday. I honestly can't remember. I think it was Friday into Saturday. So Friday night, right? We go out and we drink and we party, and I come back at like 4 a.m. to my house, right? And then I wake up the next day at like 12:30 on Saturday. And then I was just in a haze, like a super brain fog haze for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it wiped out like 3 days of my like existence. It was terrible. And like that is just to say, over the past few days, I haven't really been thinking about my business too much. I haven't been thinking about podcast topics. I haven't been thinking about how to progress. And it wiped out 3 days of my life. That's like, and I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it's like that's half the week, right? That's half of the week. And if I'm constantly wiping out half of my week, then I'm going to make half the progress or less, probably less because of my slowing down brain, probably less progress than I would have if I just stayed dedicated, if I just stayed consistent, if I stayed motivated and I didn't do all these stupid things. And it's like there's some like recreation that can be involved with that. I've been thinking about it as like, if I don't go overboard, if I don't stay out till 4 or 5 a.m., like there can be some things. And but I also want to give myself a little bit of compassion because you should be able to do that stuff sometimes, right? You just have to pace yourself and you have to be able to understand, you're not going to be in it for the next 3 days. But that being said, I think I've been playing a little bit small because over the past 3 days, honestly, I haven't really been hitting my macros diligently. And that's like something that's kind of hard to admit because I've been perfect on prep up until this moment. But I've been going over my calories. That being said, I do try to fix the repercussions with my walks. I've been telling you guys about that time I ate the Quest bar over my calories a couple weeks back, and then I fixed it by going for a walk. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I might go 100, 200, 300. One night I even went 500 calories over my diet, and I justified it by saying like, I got a ton of steps overnight when I was walking outside, and that could be a justification. When I went out with my friends on Friday, I walked like this. We were walking on the streets, right? And we were in the club till like 4 or 5 a.m. And I used that as a justification to go over my calories the next day because I was like, I stuck to my calories that day and I burned like an extra 2,000 calories from being out all night. I should be able to overeat. And while that's a decently justifiable justification, like that is a logical explanation, I do agree with that. However, I have been playing small because here's the thing, if I didn't justify that and I didn't eat all those extra calories, then I would have made more progress. It's not like I would have made less progress. I would have made more progress. I would have been more shredded now than I would have if I just didn't overindulge, right? I would have been more shredded if I didn't overindulge. It's like, I can justify these things and sometimes our justifications and excuses are valid. That's the thing is like that is a valid thing. I walked like 25, 30,000 steps that night. And if I'm trying to stay within my calorie deficit of 1,000 calories, I should probably eat a little bit extra and, replenish those calories that I ate. That being said, that's exactly what I did. And I just did not feel good about it. That's the problem is just I did that and I didn't feel good about it because I would have made more progress had I not done that. And me being 4 weeks out, I'm trying to be as shredded as possible, step on stage, as gut wrenchingly shredded and banana peeled as possible. And now I am actually literally 4 weeks out, 4 weeks and 2 days out, looking at the calendar there. And I'm just sick and tired of playing small. And I don't want to play small anymore. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna overindulge over these next few weeks, over these next 4 weeks. I'm not gonna go over my calories anymore. In fact, I'm gonna shoot for under my calories and I'm gonna step on stage as fucking banana peeled, shredded as I possibly can. And that's my declaration. That's my clarification to you guys, just being open and transparent because these podcast episodes are more or less kind of like a therapy session. I mean, it's like a little bit of me coaching, a little bit of me doing therapy with myself, telling you guys about my mistakes and how I'm going to fix them. And this is one thing that I made a mistake on. I feel like, I mean, I could justify it, but I don't think that justification serves me in any way. I don't think justifying overindulging or overeating or overconsumption of my calories is worthy of justification, no matter the whatever, no matter the sequence, no matter if I walked an extra 20,000 steps or whatever the fuck, I'm still justifying myself going over my calories. And in the long run, that's going to put a mental dampener on myself, on my subconscious. It's like, how much easier is it for me to overeat the next day than it would have been if I didn't overeat the day before? It's like, really, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And so if I'm allowing these types of cheat days, if you will, if I'm allowing myself to fall victim to my excuses and fall off my diet, then there is 100%, I'm telling you, undeniably, there will be another moment in time where I'm faced with one of these justifications. And I'm going to look back at my experience, my recent experience. And if my recent experience is me breaking that justification with myself, breaking that trust, it's going to be over 50 times easier to break that justification again because that's just how life works. We live in patterns. We're constantly creating new habits. And if I'm if I'm not constantly, but even if I break trust with myself one time, this is really how crazy it is. If I break trust with myself one time, then I am almost guaranteed to break trust with myself twice. And then I'm basically guaranteed to break trust a third time. And that's the cycle over and over again until you reincorporate that trust. And so I'm just like, I'm telling this to you so you can kind of apply it to your life and figure out where are you breaking trust with yourself? Because I know a lot of people struggle with positive momentum. They struggle with staying motivated for a long period of time, going to the gym. And this is often due to you mistrusting yourself. This is often due to you justifying your excuses, which may be justifiable or not. That is not the point. You're still justifying your excuses and you're allowing yourself to fall victim to negative momentum. And that's what happens over and over and over again. And all it takes is for you to break trust one time. All it takes is for you to skip one workout. All it takes is for you to overeat by 100 calories on your nutrition plan one time. All it takes is for you to not drink a gallon of water one day of the week, and you will justify that by some other shit. And then you'll try to break trust with yourself again next time, over the next few days, over the next period of time, over the next whatever. I guarantee it. This is how it works. Positive momentum +1 forward, negative momentum -1 backward. And your brain will always try to find the path of least resistance for the body. And if you have recent evidence that you are allowed to break trust with yourself, then you will undeniably break trust with yourself again. This is why cheat days are usually typically not a very good idea. They can be sometimes. I understand the mental whatever. If you're kind of feeling soft and you need to have a little nice cheat day, right? That's super duper fun. Have a cheat day. But in my experience, when you have cheat days, you're gonna pull upon your recent experience and you're gonna see like, oh, I had a cheat day and I didn't really gain too much weight. Maybe I can go over my calories by a couple hundred. Maybe you're gonna want a meal at the end of the day that's 500 calories and you only have 400 calories left on your diet plan. But looking from recent experience, rendering from recent experience, you had a cheat day and you didn't gain any weight. So going over your diet by 100 calories, that's not so bad, right? That's not so bad. And then going over the next day, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. And all before you know it, all of a sudden you're 4 days into the week and you've gone over your diet plan every single day. And this is something I kind of experienced this, right? Because, like I said, over the last 3 days, on Friday, I kind of overindulged, right? On Friday, I didn't overindulge. On Friday, I went for that. I went out with my friends and I got all those steps in, right? But then on Saturday, I justified myself overeating by like 500 calories. And then because of the walk, right? And then on Sunday, I overate by like 200 calories. And then I justified it because I went for a walk and I burned some extra calories. And it's like, that's a justifiable excuse. It really is. That is valid as hell. You can overeat and you can walk. That's fine. But the problem lies in this distrust with myself. The problem lies with me breaking my positive momentum. I was perfect. I was 100% perfect other than that Quest bar. I didn't miss a single fucking thing since I started this prep 12 weeks ago. I swear to God, I hit my calories every single day. I hit my meal plan every day. I drank my water. I weighed myself every day. And now I'm noticing the repercussions. Like this morning, I literally almost forgot to weigh myself. And I've forgotten to weigh myself only a few times other than this, due to other distrust. Like I might miss my supplements one day. And it's like when you miss, I'm telling you, when you miss one thing, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. You will miss another. I promise you. And so this isn't, I am somewhat of a perfectionist, but I don't think I'm not that extreme where it's like everything has to be perfect. It all has to be perfect. But if you're not perfect, then you will be perfectly imperfect. You will miss more and more things over and over and over again, and you will soon fall victim to negative momentum. That's how people fall into the graveyard, into the depths of negative momentum, and that's how you end up fat. That's how you end up obese. It's because you're constantly breaking these habits. You're constantly creating new habits of distrust, and you're constantly creating new habits of eating like poorly or going over your macros or not drinking your water or not weighing yourself every day. And then before you know it, you're 4 or 5 days into the week and you're like way fucking behind. And then how much more easy is it going to be when you're way behind 5 days in the week to be like, this week's a wash. Let's go for the full 7 days, whatever. Give it up. That is so easy because the brain will always find the path of least resistance for the body, and that is the path of least resistance. So this all being said, guys, I'm done playing fucking small. I'm going to be perfectly perfect. No more perfectly imperfect, imperfection, bullshit, garbage. I'm going to be 100% perfect over these next 4 weeks, and I'm going to step on stage absolutely banana McPeeled to the fucking core. I promise you that. That's my promise. That's my declaration, and I will not go over my calories again. And that being said, I probably will even try to get more steps than my coach prescribes me, extra steps, and I will sit with the fucking hunger pains. I will sit with the grueling ghrelin pain that I feel in my stomach, and I will sit there with the thoughts and the mental barricade of, oh, you should probably get more food because you got more steps. Fuck that shit. I'm sick and tired of playing small. I'm trying to play big as fuck. This is my first bodybuilding show. I'm stepping on stage to an untested show, natty as fuck, and I will not step on stage and make a fool of myself. And I will not look back at this show and think to myself, I could have done better. I could have done better. Fuck that. I'm gonna do 100% of my shit. I'm gonna make it perfect for the next 4 weeks. I'm gonna do 100% of what I can, and I'm gonna step on stage being the best version of myself. And so the point of this podcast is just try to apply it to your life. Look at your own life, look at your own action steps, and try to see where you're playing small, and then try to patch that hole up, because every extra +1 in positive momentum will yield you more +1s, because it's not just in the negative. Like when you go in the negative, you're likely to hit another negative throughout the week, but when you go in the positive, you're likely to hit another positive throughout the week. And that's why I'm gonna boom 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 knock down each of these action steps every single day, and I'm gonna step on stage looking like a natty fucking freak. All right, guys, that's my declaration. That's what I promise you. And that brings us to the end of today's podcast episode. I hope you guys got some value. If you did get value, screenshot my fucking face, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at _Garrett Wolf, and I will reshare it to my story, and I'll send you a free gift. Other than that, guys, it has been your boy Garrett Wolf. It's time to be perfect. No more perfect imperfections. It is time to be absolutely perfect, and I will see you all in the next podcast episode. Peace, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully you got some value. If you did get value and you want to learn a little bit more about how you can go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs, just head over to my Instagram at _Garrett Wolf. DM me the word six-pack and I'll reach out to you and see if I can help. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you all in the next podcast episode. Peace.